Have you ever woken up one morning and realized that the child you raised, nurtured, and sacrificed for is now barely listening to you? It can hit like a sudden jolt. The child who once looked up to you with admiration now dismisses your words without a second thought. If your children have started treating you with less respect than you deserve, you might feel frustrated, even angry. But here's the truth. Feeling angry won't fix it. Imagine if there was a way to regain that respect without resorting to arguments or guilt trips. What if you could inspire your children to listen to you once again, not out of obligation, but out of genuine respect? Today, we'll explore 6 powerful strategies to help you achieve just that. From breaking free from the approval trap to building a life outside your children's world, we'll dive into the practical steps you can take to transform your relationships. Stay with us as we uncover these simple yet effective ways to regain respect and strengthen your bond with your children. Number 1, reclaim your voice. Have you ever found yourself bending over backward to keep the peace with your children, even if it means sacrificing your own desires and opinions? This is what we call the approval trap. It's a pattern where parents slowly lose their voice by always saying yes to avoid conflict. But the cost can be high. Your self-worth begins to depend on their approval, leaving you feeling powerless and unheard. Let's take Margaret's story as an example. I recall meeting a remarkable woman named Margaret. In her younger years, she was the backbone of her family and community, a confident leader who never hesitated to voice her opinions. But over time, she let her adult children make every decision for her. Margaret was unstoppable. Then, she stopped herself. Margaret's transformation was gradual. She began to doubt her own judgment, questioning whether her opinions were valid. Her children, though well-intentioned, unintentionally reinforced this doubt by dismissing her ideas and taking control. As a result, Margaret felt like she was losing herself, bit by bit. So, what can you do if you find yourself in Margaret's shoes? The first step isn't to demand respect from your children. It's to stop acting like you need their approval to feel worthy. Speak up, even if you fear conflict. Your voice matters, and reclaiming it is the first step towards regaining respect. Here's an action step you can take today. The next time you're in a situation where you feel pressured to agree with your children, pause. Take a moment to reflect on what you truly believe. Then, express your thoughts clearly and respectfully. Remember, your self-worth shouldn't be tied to their approval. You are more than enough, regardless of what others think. By speaking up and standing firm, you not only reclaim your voice, but also set an example for your children. They may learn to respect your boundaries and opinions more when they see you valuing them yourself. So, let's break the cycle of approval seeking together. Share with us in the comments below how you've reclaimed your voice and stood up for yourself. Your story could inspire others to do the same. Number 2, the power of calm dignity. For many old people, feeling respected by their children is a deep-seated desire. However, when emotions run high, it's tempting to raise your voice or lecture them into respecting you. But here's the truth. Shouting doesn't earn respect. It pushes it further away. Respect isn't won through heated debates or pointed lectures. It's earned by how you carry yourself. The goal is not to win arguments, but to create a space where respect is naturally earned. This approach requires a deep understanding of why arguments fail and how calm dignity can succeed. By adopting this mindset, old people can transform their relationships with their children, moving from a place of conflict to one of mutual respect and understanding. It's about recognizing that respect doesn't come from heated debates or pointed lectures, but rather from how you carry yourself. Consider the story of Frank, a retired teacher who once commanded respect in his classroom with ease. However, at home, he felt dismissed and disrespected by his grown children. Frank realized that the same calm confidence he used in the classroom could be the key to reconnecting with his family. By adopting this approach, he transformed the dynamics of their interactions, and his children began to see him not just as a parent, but as a respected individual. To apply Frank's approach, allow respectful silences and straightforward communication to do the work for you. When you feel the urge to argue, pause and take a moment to collect your thoughts. Speak calmly and clearly, focusing on the issue rather than attacking your child's perspective. This method can shift the dynamics of your interactions, making them more constructive and respectful. For old people, this might involve embracing a new way of communicating that feels less confrontational and more collaborative. By doing so, you can create a more harmonious home environment where everyone feels valued and respected. By staying calm and composed, they can model the kind of respect they wish to receive. This isn't about changing others, it's about changing how you approach interactions. Here's an action step you can take today. The next time a conversation gets tense, pause before responding. Let silence create space for reflection, yours and theirs. When you do speak, keep your tone steady and your words simple but firm. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Number 3, developing emotional independence. One of the hardest lessons to learn as you grow older is that you can't depend on your children for emotional fulfillment. As children grow up and move out, parents often find themselves feeling lost and uncertain about their identity outside of being a parent. This is where emotional independence becomes crucial. It's about recognizing that your happiness and fulfillment shouldn't depend solely on your children. When you tie your emotional well-being to them, it can create a sense of burden, pushing them away and making them feel responsible for your happiness. Let's consider Helen's story to understand this dynamic better. Helen was a devoted mother who, after her children moved out, found herself calling them multiple times a week. She dialed them every day, heart pounding with hope. The silence of her phone felt deafening. She felt lost and alone, unsure of who she was outside of being a mother. Her children, though loving, began to feel suffocated by her constant need for validation. They would often rush through conversations or avoid calling her back, not because they didn't care, but because they felt overwhelmed by her emotional dependency. But Helen realized that her clinginess was not only affecting her, but also her children. They needed space to grow and live their own lives, free from the weight of her emotional needs. So Helen made a change. She started exploring new hobbies and joining community groups. She discovered a passion for painting and gardening, and through these activities, she met new friends who shared her interests. As she cultivated these new relationships and pursuits, Helen noticed a profound shift. She was happier, more confident, and less dependent on her children for emotional support. For many old people, this journey of self-discovery can be particularly empowering. It reminds them that their worth and happiness aren't defined solely by their role as parents. By focusing on their own growth and happiness, they create space for their children to flourish without feeling burdened. This balance is key to maintaining healthy relationships with children as they grow older. Here's an action step you can take today. Seek emotional support from varied sources, friends, hobbies, community groups, rather than just your children. Try something new this week, whether it's joining a book club, taking a cooking class, or volunteering. You might be surprised at how these small steps can lead to big changes in your relationships with your children. Number 4, setting and enforcing firm boundaries. Imagine living in a home where disrespect is the norm, and you feel powerless to change it. For many seniors, setting boundaries with their children can seem daunting, but it's a crucial step towards reclaiming respect and transforming family dynamics. Allowing disrespect only teaches children that it's acceptable, which can lead to a toxic environment where no one feels valued. But what if you could reset this dynamic by calmly communicating clear boundaries? Let's look at Robert's story to see how this works. Robert, a retired businessman, had always been skilled at setting boundaries in the workplace. He realized that these same skills could be applied at home to improve his relationships with his children. Whenever they belittled him or spoke disrespectfully, Robert calmly insisted on basic civility. He would say, "If we can't keep our voices down, this conversation will end." This simple yet firm approach changed everything. Robert's household climate transformed drastically when he started enforcing these boundaries. His children began to respect him more because they understood that disrespect wouldn't be tolerated. Consistency was key. Every time they crossed the line, Robert calmly reminded them of the boundaries. This wasn't about being harsh. It was about being clear and consistent. Here's how you can apply this strategy in your own life. Identify specific disrespectful behaviors you won't tolerate, communicate those boundaries clearly, and enforce them each time. For example, if your child interrupts you, you can say, "Please let me finish speaking before you respond." Consistency is more powerful than arguments or guilt trips because it shows that you mean what you say. By setting and enforcing firm boundaries, you're not only teaching your children respect, but also modeling healthy communication skills. This approach can drastically improve your relationships and create a more respectful home environment. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Number 5, avoid unconditional enabling. Imagine a relationship where you constantly give and give, only to find that your generosity is met with entitlement rather than gratitude. For many seniors, the desire to provide for their children can sometimes blur the line between unconditional love and enabling. But what if withholding some favors could actually strengthen your relationship? Let's explore this idea through George's story. George was a loving father who always wanted to help his children. He provided them with loans and favors, hoping they would appreciate his support and grow into responsible adults. However, over time, George noticed that his children began to demand even more, without ever expressing gratitude. They took his generosity for granted, assuming that he would always be there to bail them out. Constantly giving, especially to those who don't appreciate it, can erode respect. turning gratitude into entitlement. But George's situation took a dramatic turn when he needed help himself. Despite all he had done for his children, he found himself alone and unsupported. This realization was a shock to George, and it made him understand that his endless giving had not only failed to earn him respect, but had also created a sense of obligation rather than love. So, what can you do to avoid this trap? It's essential to distinguish between unconditional love and unconditional enabling. Unconditional love means loving your children no matter what, while unconditional enabling means constantly providing for them without expecting anything in return, even if it harms them or your relationship. Here's an action step you can take today. Sometimes say no or limit your generosity. This doesn't mean withholding love. It means teaching your children to respect your time and resources. By refusing to enable unappreciative behavior, you're not withholding love, you're teaching them respect. Number 6, building a life outside your children's world. As we navigate the complex world of parenting, it's easy to get caught up in our children's lives. However, creating a fulfilling life outside of parenting is not only beneficial for us, but also for our children. Let's explore how developing personal passions, interests, and friendships can strengthen our relationships with our kids and earn their respect. Meet Eleanor, a devoted mother who once found herself waiting by the phone for her children to call. She was lonely, feeling as though her world revolved solely around her kids. But everything changed when she decided to take a different path. She started attending local art classes, joined a book club, and even began volunteering at a nearby animal shelter. As she discovered new friends and hobbies, her excitement was palpable. The relief of no longer waiting by the phone was replaced by the joy of living a life filled with purpose. Eleanor's transformation was nothing short of remarkable. As she blossomed into a multifaceted individual, her children began to notice. They started calling more often and visiting regularly. The more she found joy elsewhere, the more they seemed to appreciate her company. So, what can you do to build a life outside your children's world? Here's an action step. Explore clubs, volunteer, travel, or rekindle old hobbies. Try something new this week, whether it's painting, gardening, or joining a sports team. You might be surprised at how these small steps can lead to big changes in your relationships and overall happiness. As you embark on this journey, remember that it's okay to ask for help along the way. Reach out to friends, family, or even professional counselors if you need guidance. And don't forget to share your experiences with us. In the comments below, tell us about a time when you discovered a new passion or friendship that enriched your life. Your story could inspire others to find their own path to fulfillment. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. As we conclude our journey together, let's reflect on the powerful strategies we've explored to regain respect from your children. Remember that question we asked at the start? Now you have the tools to answer it. Respect isn't something that can be demanded. It's something you inspire. By living with dignity, confidence, and purpose, you can create a ripple effect that transforms your relationships. By implementing even one of these methods, you can start to see a shift in your relationships. So here's a call to action. Choose one strategy to start with today. Maybe it's speaking up more confidently, joining a new social group, or setting a boundary with your children. Share your experiences in the comments below or with friends who might benefit from this journey. Thank you for being with us today. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's one action you can take today to start commanding the respect you deserve? Leave a comment below and share your story. If you found this insight helpful, please subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss more valuable insights. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue creating content that inspires and empowers you. Remember, you don't have to demand respect. When you live with purpose and dignity, it will naturally come back to you, not because you chased it, but because you earned it by simply being true to yourself.